Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Through the Curtain. I am your host, Tommy T. I'm joined, as usual, by Double K and behind the scenes, Smokey Z. We are coming to you today from the King William Volunteer Fire Department in Aylett, Virginia, for another CPW show. This one being CPW's Mid-Atlantic Mayhem. So we've got a tag team tournament that's set up for us today, followed by the much-anticipated main event of the evening between Sledge Gibson and that handicap match of KR Superstar and Humphrey J. DuPont.
And that is not a play on their age. Handicap match in this particular match means 2-on-1.
That's correct.
I just needed to verify that.
It is not a challenge towards their ability to actually compete at their senior level that they are now at. You and I have actually become victims to an attack, an onslaught last time when we were here at CPW, where KR Superstar, Humphrey J. DuPont, and John Washington approached our table here. It was not provoked in any kind of way. It really came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it did.
So, you have engaged consistently with KR Superstar and Humphrey J. DuPont on Facebook and social media. And tonight we get the opportunity to hopefully see Sledge Gibson put them in their place.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, KR Superstar has consistently and repeatedly harassed me on social media, so I'm definitely going to swing back. I don't like bullies, and I think we need to make that known. I mean, look at these videos of cowardly attacks that he and Humphrey J. DuPont IV have initiated on wrestling legends. They, have attacked people in their front yard.
In their home.
In their home. They've attacked Sledge Gibson when he was out for, a cardio workout.
Yeah.
Dressed as old ladies nonetheless.
Well, I think that's fitting. It's
Absolutely.
a reflection of their personality.
Well, it is. And I think, we'll find out tonight. One of the things that I said to KR Superstar was, come Saturday night on the 23rd in Aylett, Virginia, we're going to find out if you guys really actually have the balls underneath those dresses to face Sledge Gibson face-to-face instead of attacking from behind.
Yeah. We've actually seen these two perform consistently, taking out various people. They attacked the wrestling legend Dave Hebner in his home, and that guy, what did he do to deserve that? What did he do?
Not a thing.
Yeah, and, they're cowardly, unprovoked attacks, and tonight, hopefully, they're going to get their mouths shut for all of the antics that they've done, these unprovoked attacks that we've seen on countless people, and including their unprovoked attacks that we have seen them in the ring on multiple occasions.
Well, I think one of the biggest things that we're all going to see tonight, I think that last attack on Sledge Gibson has awoken a darker Sledge Gibson. I don't think he's mentally stable right now when it comes to the topic of this match. And I think that KR Superstar and Humphrey J. DuPont, the 875th, are going to regret all these cowardly attacks. They're going to regret them tonight.
So I agree wholeheartedly. One of the things that we think we're going to see is a different Sledge Gibson than what we've seen in the past.
Absolutely.
We saw a glimpse of him earlier and got to see how he kind of looks different. There's something about him that is a little off compared to what we've seen in the past.
Like I said, it looks to be a much more darker, I don't want to necessarily say focused, because he's always focused on what he's doing. I think he's pissed off.
Yeah, well, I would say he deserves to be at this point.
Absolutely. They tried to end his career. They used a walker, wrapped it around his knee, and they literally tried to make sure that he doesn't show up for this match tonight.
Yeah, I don't think there's any chance of that happening. I think Sledge is going to arrive and deliver just the performance that we expected him to.
Yeah, he's going to show up in full force tonight.
Yeah, and we've got the tag team tournament to crown the new CPW Mid-Atlantic Tag Team Champions.
Did you get a look at those titles?
I did. They are good-looking belts.
Those things are extremely well done. I don't know who did them. Those belts are beautiful. They put you in mind of the, some of the classic titles that we've seen in the past.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we will be covering this episode throughout the evening, folks, much like we've done with other on-location episodes where we are recording different aspects of the event throughout the evening to include follow-ups and recaps of matches, followed by we'll have a brief session during intermission, and then, of course, wrapping up our show, which we'll have to do much quicker this evening because we've got to hit the road, Double K, and be in Warsaw by 6 o'clock so we can tape our Fusion, which is going to be our first appearance at Fusion.
Absolutely.
Wrestling.
I'm super excited about that. That's going to be a great show, great card. Excited to get there.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting day for us, folks. These episodes will launch probably the day or within the next 2 days after they are taped, and we look forward to covering tonight's and today's events with you. So we just witnessed the conclusion of our first match of the evening. It was a tag team triple threat between the Geordie Bulldogs, Simply Safish, and the Marauders. And the Geordie Bulldogs walked away with the victory. They pinned Livid the Clown from Simply Safish, who we had the pleasure of talking to just last week. His interview aired today. I was really rooting for Simply Safish.
Yeah, I know we're supposed to maintain some level of non-bias, but I was hoping Simply Safish was going to walk away with that one too. Just didn't happen today.
Yeah, no, not today. Again, this is a tag team tournament, folks, for the CPW Mid-Atlantic Tag Team Championship. So we are just at the very first match of the evening, and this will continue until we can crown a new CPW Tag Team Champion at the conclusion of today. So that's going to wrap it up for our first match. We're going to hand it back over to Brent Fleener in the ring. And the conclusion of our second match, we now saw Lavishing Leo Kirby and Ray Vex against Bobby and Robbie. And then it was supposed to be the third team in this triple threat, Jeff Gordon and Salvation. We heard Jeff Gordon. He came out.
Yeah.
Salvation's music hit. No Salvation.
No Salvation. They made the announcement that due to a family emergency that he was not able to be here tonight. So Jeff Gordon was given the opportunity to either forfeit or compete on his own. And I've got to give him some credit. He chose to compete on his own.
Yeah. It was a good match. Of course, one of our favorites. We try not to be biased, but Leo Kirby, we've touted as being the most well-rounded performer that CPW has.
Sure.
It's always a great chance for us to see him. Ray Vex still finding his way a little bit. I'm not sure. Jeff Gordon, still the new guy on the scenes.
Yeah.
And we have not seen Bobby and Robbie before.
No, that was new, and those guys were good.
Yeah.
Again, we talk a lot about looking the part, being your character, being the part. Those guys had it. I like that. They worked really well. It was a very fluid tag team, so.
Yeah. We've talked before about tag team wrestling being a lost art. And it's always nice to see good tag team matches. There was a lot of action in that match. It was constant. There was not very many opportunities for them to, mess anything up, really.
Yeah.
Jeff Gordon was in and out relatively quickly for, different.
He was interfering from the side a couple times. So
yeah.
On the outside.
He did well for a guy that was in a handicap match
against
in a triple threat tag team.
Right.
Yeah. This just wasn't one against
Jeff.
two.
Congratulations, Jeff. Good effort.
Yeah.
But just, tonight wasn't the night.
Yep. And now we're going to get set for our second match, so we're going to go ahead and hand it back over to Brent Fleener in the ring. And the conclusion of our third match, we got to see the Gorilla Squad versus Ethan Cross and John Washington, and what was supposed to be LaTank and Isaiah, or LA Tank, sorry, but that's not what we got.
No, I'm not sure exactly what went down there. LA Tank was in the ring, and it just left angrily.
Yeah.
I really don't know what happened. It just kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, you could see him as he was leaving. He looked over towards the CPW commissioner, Ronnie DeVault, and just kind of waved him off and said,
and just
forget
left.
this.
Yeah,
and walked through the curtain, no pun intended.
Yeah, cheap. That was a cheap pop, right?
Yep. Yeah, cheap pop for us.
That was a cheap pop for us. But I mean, he left as quick as the match ended.
Yeah, I mean, to talk about a squash match,
it was.
We were, probably less than 2 minutes into the match, and we saw, really the Gorilla Squad got their hands on Isaiah, and that was it.
It was, yeah. They had their hands around his neck. In the air he went and came crashing down. It was over.
Yeah, his head bounced off the mat, kind of like a bouncy ball when a kid throws it to the concrete.
Yeah.
So, folks, you can hear Brent Fleener in the background. I just want to tout this guy one more time as we've done in the past.
Absolutely.
CPW, bringing him in as a ring announcer, adds so much value just to their show by having Brent Fleener in the ring with a microphone in his hand.
Oh, absolutely. He keeps the crowd engaged from the parking lot to the seats, back to the parking lot when the show is over. That man is nothing but a ball of energy.
Yeah.
And he brings that every single show that we attend.
I wish I had as much energy as he does for putting on these shows, because I know the guy does a full-time job.
Yeah.
This is a regular gig for him. So
I wonder if he keeps the employees at his full-time job as energized as he keeps these crowds. Can you imagine that guy at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Monday?
We would need a lot more coffee to get through the day with him.
I don't know if you need coffee. I think he would be the coffee.
Yeah, that's probably true. Well, folks, we're getting ready to go into our next match of the evening. We're going to go ahead and turn it back over to Brent in the ring. And at the conclusion of that match, folks, we had the opportunity to see Capital Vices versus Kevin Mears and Timmy Danger, along with the third team in that tag team triple threat, the Atomic Dog, Pork Chop Johnson, and the CPW Mid-Atlantic champion, Gordon Braswell.
Who I believe may be hurt. Pork Chop Johnson is actually helping him back to the back as we speak.
Yes, you can actually see that some CPW officials have come out.
Yeah.
And they are walking.
Oh!
What was that?
That was a vicious attack from behind is what that was.
Gordon Braswell was attacked from the back.
Wow. Here comes Pork Chop on the chair, folks.
Pork Chop has... I'm not sure what just happened.
I've never seen Pork Chop Johnson like this, ever.
Folks, we had a performer come out with the CPW Mid-Atlantic Championship in hand. He struck Gordon Braswell from behind. Pork Chop now with CPW officials helping Gordon Braswell out through the curtain. Again, no pun intended. Especially this time. That was another one of those just moments that we don't get a lot of.
Just out of nowhere. Literally from out of nowhere.
Yeah, we saw Braswell go down right in front of us. I'm not sure what I'm not even sure who that was.
No. It happened so fast. It was over as quickly as it happened. He came out of nowhere.
Yeah, the assailant came out, took him down, went straight to the back. We don't really have an explanation, folks. If we get one, we'll provide it to you. But in the meantime, we are going to be watching the Geordie Bulldogs come back to the ring for their second time this evening. For round two.
Here we go.
The CPW Mid-Atlantic Tag Team Championship Tournament. Back to Brent Fleener in the ring. And now at the conclusion of that match, due to a disqualification, the Geordie Bulldogs are going to advance. And then all hell broke loose.
That was not my pick, number one. If this was the NCAA bracket, I would have missed out on that game right there.
Absolutely. I was expecting, with the dominant performance that the Gorilla Squad put out in their first match, for them to turn around and come out now and lose via disqualification. Oh, here comes Pork Chop with a chair.
Is still mad. He's attacking everybody with his chair now.
I don't think we've ever seen Pork Chop so
Livid
aggressive.
the Clown just took a shot at these guys. Wes Rogers is in the ring checking on
He has
one of the
put out
Geordie
safety
Bulldogs right
cones.
now. He's got his safety cones out. Making sure this whole thing is safe-ish.
Ish. Which we learned is, their thing.
Yeah. As Wes is safe, Livid's not.
Right.
So it works.
Have you ever noticed that on the back of
Hold
Wes
on, there's
Rogers,
a fan challenging some guys here.
we got we've got a fan that's in a verbal conversation with the Gorilla Squad. This show has a much more hostile environment than what we're used to at a CPW show.
I see this not ending well.
You gotta wipe my fist because I give you a seat when you go out Thursday, bitch.
Yeah, I'm not sure what even just happened there. This is now the second time this evening that I've been left kind of speechless.
Not going to end well.
Well, folks, they're still cleaning up the ring from the last match. Now one of the Geordie Bulldogs is being helped out. It's but the Geordie Bulldogs are going to advance to the next round. Of course, being helped out right now, it'll be interesting to see their condition when they come back out for their next match. But, of course, we do have the rest of this tag team tournament, followed by the main event of the evening, which is going to be Sledge Gibson versus KR Superstar and Humphrey J. DuPont. We have also learned that we're going to see Rip Sawyer take on Jeremy Rhodes. So that rivalry that began at last month's CPW show will have an opportunity to reach some conclusion here tonight, hopefully.
Well, it's going to help shed a little light on what they meant by when Rip Sawyer come out, when he was talking about doing whatever they want to do here in CPW.
Yeah, so
we're gonna figure out a little bit about what that meant tonight.
With Jeremy Rhodes, the All-American Jeremy Rhodes, being relatively new, and with Rip Sawyer, the veteran that he is for the ring, it is without a doubt that match is going to bring something unique for us to see. Rip Sawyer, which again, the guy, even though he's a longtime veteran, is ready to go. He looks great. We've had a chance to see him earlier this evening. He looks outstanding.
He does. He really does.
And I'm looking forward to seeing him in the ring. Now, we're going to see Capital Vices coming back out for their second appearance in this tag team tournament. And we're going to hand it back over to Brent Fleener in the ring for the next match. And we just witnessed the ending of the final, the last semifinal match for the CPW Tag Team Tournament. And we could hear Capital Vices now. They are declaring that this is not through for them, and that they're going to be coming after those titles after tonight's tournament. So our main event of the evening is going to be the Geordie Bulldogs versus Ray Vex and Lavishing Leo Kirby.
That should be a very, very interesting match. I'm hoping the Bulldogs are healthy enough to put on a show and compete the way that they deserve to compete. Because at the end of the last match, we saw one of the Bulldogs limping to the locker room with assistance. So that should be interesting.
Yeah, we're going into an intermission now for CPW. And, our next match that we're scheduled to see is going to be the All-American Jeremy Rhodes against Rip Sawyer. So we're going to see exactly how much Rip Sawyer has to give in just a few minutes.
Yeah, when he goes head to face, one-on-one with the All-American, it's going to be another interesting match. We've got the old dog versus the young dog, the young lion.
That's true.
So we're going to see who's got what. We're going to figure out who has the desire to make it happen and get it done.
One of the things that's going to be interesting about that is going to be how much stamina does Rip Sawyer have now that he's a little bit advanced in comparison to the folks he's going to be in the ring with.
Sure.
So how much does he have in the tank to push through?
You know, that's going to remain to be seen, but here's what I think. I think all of these years of experience that Rip has in this business and in that ring, all the competitors that he's gone head-to-head with, I promise you, if he runs out of gas, there's going to be something. He's going to have a trick up his sleeve. He's going to have something shoved in a boot. There's going to be a way that he's going to get this thing done.
I don't have any doubt in my mind about that. You know, we've seen a lot of action already tonight, and we've also been, serenaded, so to speak, by the band 120 Proof. That has been here for the entire event. They actually played for a little while before the event even started, and then now they are playing again during intermission.
I tell you what, it's fun. They're really good.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect. I'd never heard the band. They're really good. They're playing my kind of music, more from your era than mine, but but everything they played has sounded really great. I've enjoyed it. It's created an energy around this CPW show that we don't normally have.
Yeah. So one of the things that we've often talked about is the comparison in production value between some of the promotions that we've gone to see. And we've acknowledged that CPW has, they're not always great when it comes to the production value.
Right.
But we have seen them make significant improvements over the past several shows that has increased that value. You can clearly see that RC and his group is focusing on creating a better environment for the fans and the performers.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I said. They're literally, for tonight's show, is standing room only.
Yeah.
That's all that's left. If you weren't here, we rolled into the parking lot 45 minutes before the show, and the line was already formed outside the door.
Yeah.
So if you weren't here an hour before the doors open, you're standing right now.
Yeah. And we can see this, folks, as we look across the main Bay Area here at the King William Volunteer Fire Department. We can see that the chairs are filled. All we have is the standing room along the left side of the building and across the back, but the whole right side's filled up. Folks are continuing to flow into the event.
Yeah.
And, CPW did something unique with this event. They didn't charge admission.
Right. A lot of times when I talk to people about CPW, I try to get the point across when I'm talking about the shows is, how much CPW ownership actually appreciates and how much CPW ownership, care about their fan base.
Yeah.
And so, RC put this show on for the fans. This show right now that we're watching tonight is all about fan appreciation. So, I have to give a standing ovation to RC for putting this thing together. It's a great show. Again, the energy around this thing tonight is unbelievable. So, well done. I'm enjoying myself. I think you are.
Yeah, absolutely. Smokey Z's enjoying himself as well. Folks, we've
well
determined...
said, Smokey Z. Well said.
Yeah, we've determined that we're going to get Smokey Z a mic.
Yes.
So that he can contribute to our shows. We may only turn it on at random moments and may not tell him when we do. So that we can catch him in all his glory.
And there's a lot of glory.
Yeah, if you can get through the vape screen.
Oh, here comes the locker room.
Yeah.
Oh.
We can see Livid the Clown, Pork Chop Johnson,
Wes Rogers,
Leo Kirby, the Honest Reverend. We have not seen him in a while. This is actually the first time we've probably seen him in 2019.
I'll be completely honest, with that white sparkly sequin jacket he's wearing tonight, we could have seen him from outer space if we were up there.
Well, he could direct traffic in it, that's for sure.
Absolutely. You know, maybe he should be with Simply Safish instead of Leo Kirby and Ray Vex. He's his own reflector jacket.
That's how Leo Kirby keeps his tan.
Got it. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's the reflection off the Honest Reverend's jacket.
Understood. Got it.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense to me.
So, you know, again, we've talked about at other shows we've gone to the value of these intermissions and what it gives the fans an opportunity to do. And I still think BCW so far has been the king of that. But now we've got intermission, and we actually have members of the locker room that are up on stage dancing with the band.
Is what Pork Chop Johnson is doing over there, is that dancing?
We'll call it the frying pan sizzle.
Or is that grooving?
Well, it might be grooving.
There's got to be a difference. There's got to be a difference in the two.
So the biggest thing that I think CPW does well is using the venue to their advantage.
Yes.
So, you know, VCW, a very different promotion, a very different production, but it's also a completely different clientele. You know, we're going to get the chance to go out later on this evening into Warsaw, Virginia, for Rappahannock High School for the Fusion Show,
yes,
which CPW has plugged at their show here tonight. So let's take a minute and talk about the value in them providing the plug to a competing wrestling show, and they didn't even charge admission for this.
No. I mean, everything you're saying right there funnels back into what I was saying about how much the CPW gets it, and they really care not only about their fan base, they're willing to plug another organization during their show.
Yeah.
And try and push their fans toward that show later on this evening when this one's over.
Yeah. So, folks, just in front of us is Timmy Danger's biggest fan. And, you know, we're going to have the opportunity tonight to talk to folks that are going to be new to us.
Yeah.
Performers we haven't seen before at a venue we've never been to for a promotion that we've never worked with. And we're going to have that opportunity tonight to interact and engage with them as we begin yet another partnership with another promotion.
I tell you, I'm super excited about that. Fusion Wrestling, here we come.
That's right. So, folks, as we are beginning to wrap up intermission, we're going to cease our conversation here and hand it back over to Brent Fleener in the ring as we prepare for the second half of the show. And, you know, we've still got 2 singles matches as well as our tag team tournament final. So, folks, we're going to hand it right back over to Brent Fleener in the ring.
Here we go.
And at the conclusion of that match, we got to see Rip Sawyer take on the All-American Jeremy Rhodes. And I think our question as to whether or not the guy can still go, that question's answered.
I told you he'd have a little. Here comes Pork Chop Johnson again. Oh. Wow.
He is fired up.
What is. Holy cow. He is on. He's ready to go tonight.
Yeah. I mean, he came flying through the curtain. And now we can see Rip Sawyer and Ace Dalton scrambling to get out.
Yeah. Running for their lives right now, man.
Yeah. But, you know, again, Rip Sawyer clearly can still go.
Ooh, that was a heated challenge that was just issued.
Yes, it was. Pork Chop clearly fired up and wants to get his hands on What a Man, Rip Sawyer. So, folks, we're coming up on the last couple of matches for our event, with the next one being the much anticipated match between the CPW heavyweight champion Sledge Gibson challenging KR Superstar and Humphrey J. DuPont, the Millennium Edition. And, you know, we've got to see them. I mean, Humphrey J. DuPont, they did that little thing where they attacked Sledge Gibson while wearing dresses. I think that's just fitting for Humphrey J. DuPont's personality and his character. He wears his mom's coat to the ring most of the times anyways.
Absolutely. But we're about to find out right now.
We are about to find out.
No more cowardly attacks.
Nope.
Face to face right now.
Here we go, and what a surprise. Here comes KR Superstar and Humphrey J. DuPont, and they are not coming alone.
Of course not.
They
of course they're not coming alone.
They are out here with John Washington and Ethan Cross. And KR's got a belt around his waist, but that's not the CPW Heavyweight Championship.
No, I'm pretty sure he pulled that from the shelf at Target.
It's possible.
Absolutely.
Either that or somebody left it in one of the cars he sells on a regular basis. You know, Humphrey J. DuPont raided his mother's closet again. With his leopard coat, and he's got a matching hat.
You know, it's cold outside. I'm sure she's going to need that coat.
Yeah, well, but given how selfish of a man he is, I don't know that he cares to begin with.
No.
So, as we are going through this event tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we may be coming to you right before this match concludes or right after this match concludes, but it's going to be great to see Sledge Gibson get his hands on these two.
Finally.
And now we're going to turn it over back to the action in the ring. And at the conclusion of the World Heavyweight title match, what a turn of events we just witnessed. Here's Salvation.
Here's Salvation. From behind.
He's got the champ.
Sort of. There he goes.
Down goes Gibson.
Well,
Salvation out of nowhere storms the ring, and Sledge Gibson is down. Salvation now raising the CPW heavyweight title in the middle of the ring.
Wow.
What a turn of events from the start of this match to the very end of this match for us to see Humphrey J. DuPont, the Millennium Edition, with KR Superstar versus Sledge Gibson for the heavyweight title. We even got to see a variety of different referees.
Yeah.
We got to see the legendary Dave Hebner count the 3 count.
Wait, I think Salvation is leaving the ring with Sledge Gibson's title right now.
He got it in his hand, that's for sure.
Has just came in and taken the CPW World Heavyweight title, stolen it more like it. Physically. He has actually now stolen the title.
And he's going backstage, folks. Salvation came out at the end of that match. He devastated Sledge Gibson.
From behind.
And Sledge now trying to gather himself to make his way out of the ring.
After a phenomenal victory.
I mean, it was always nice to see KR Superstar and Humphrey J. DuPont get whipped the way they deserve to be whipped.
Well, Sledge Gibson had to defeat not only KR Superstar, not only Humphrey J. DuPont IV, but John Washington and Ethan Cross.
Yeah, all of them at some point in time were involved in that match. And now we see the CPW World Heavyweight Champion being helped backstage. after the conclusion of that match, you know, we've talked about Salvation before. We've talked about him being the total package. I am thrilled to see him making a statement at the end of that match.
Well, you know what it comes down to? It comes down to not just waiting on your opportunity. Salvation just came to the ring unannounced, and he made his opportunity.
Absolutely. It was not a question of what his intentions were.
No, and that's exactly what a dominant superstar like that should do.
Absolutely.
You know, we don't have many of those Sledge Gibsons. We don't have many Salvations, Leo Kirby's, guys who are going to come out and make and take their opportunity and make the most of it.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a show that we have seen such a...
wow.
And here come the Geordie Bulldogs. They are attacked from behind by Ray Vex and Leo Kirby, the Honest Reverend Entail.
I've never seen so many people get jumped from behind in one night.
Yeah, you know what? This show was titled Mid-Atlantic Mayhem. That's exactly what we've gotten so far.
This is crazy. It's crazy.
So, folks, we're going to turn it back over to the live action in the ring, and we'll come to you again at the conclusion of the match. And, folks, wrapping up the main event of the evening, the conclusion of the CPW Tag Team Championship Tournament, and your new CPW Mid-Atlantic Tag Team Champions, the Geordie Bulldogs.
I tell you what a match that was right there, man.
Constant action, non-stop from the moment the bell rang.
Well, it started before the bell rang.
Well,
Remember,
that's true.
The Bulldogs were jumped outside the ring by Ray Vex, by Leo Kirby, completing pink unicorn pants from behind, and still managed to pull out the win to become the new CPW Tag Team Champions.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't be two more deserving individuals for those guys to be coming back, making their return to CPW, and walking out with the CPW Mid-Atlantic Tag Team
Absolutely.
Championships.
Congratulations to those guys. That was an impressive win.
It was, and Brent Fleener, folks, is going to take us home. For those of us here at Through the Curtain, this is going to be the conclusion of our taping here. Oh, wait a second.
Oh, hang on.
Capital Vices have made their return to the ring.
I'm 100% sure this is to stake a claim to those titles.
They made that statement earlier.
They did.
That they were not going to walk away empty-handed.
I think we might be getting another match, possibly right now.
I'm not sure what we're going to see. These two teams face-to-face in the ring. The Bulldogs and the Capital Vices. The Bulldogs were going to defend right here, but it looks like Capital Vices are going to wait and have their day at another event.
But you know what? That tells me right there that those titles are around the right waist. They were willing right now, injured. They were ready to go right now. So that tells me that those titles are definitely around the right waist right now.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any doubt in my mind that the Geordie Bulldogs are going to lay claim to those titles and the tag team division here at CPW.
No doubt. No doubt.
But I am excited to see where this goes from here on out.
Absolutely. You know what? And I want to say one more time, congratulations to RC Lovin and the staff here at CPW on putting together one hell of a show tonight.
Non-stop action.
Non-stop action. I think you said it best. You know, Mayhem was advertised, and Mayhem is exactly what we ended up getting.
Yes, absolutely. You know, looking at everything that CPW has done to put this event on, being free for the public today, you know, just outstanding work on those guys' behalf. We were thrilled to be part of it, and we will continue to work with CPW as we move forward. Folks, without a doubt, Mid-Atlantic Mayhem is exactly what CPW gave us today.
As promised.
And so, just another episode of Through the Curtain, folks. This one's going to go into the books. I'm your host, Tommy T, joined by
Double K.
And we will see you in just a little while from our next taping at Fusion Wrestling.
Very, very soon.